Hello, my name is Wayne Alexander, and today we're going to be taking a look at how to create a timer control field within CRM 2013. I'm going to be using the web version to show you how to do this, but I can confirm it's exactly the same process in the Outlook version. Now, a timer control field basically gives users a visualization on a countdown. The timer control field it will be based on a date field, and as I said, it just gives users the ability to see how much time is left. Um, Now, the timer control field, if you add that field to an actual view, then you won't be able to see the real-time countdown. So you can only see the real-time countdown in the form of that particular entity. What we're going to do today is we're going to create one of these timer control fields. Well, I've actually already created one. I'm going to show you the how you would go about creating one and the conditions that you would put in place. But the scenario we're doing today is I've actually created a real-time workflow for cases, and based on the priorities, if the case priority is set to high, then the response by time has to be done with it has to be responded by within 1 minute. I did this just for the sake of this particular demo. If it's set to normal priority, then you have to respond by 3 minutes, and if it's set to low, then the first response by has to be within 5 minutes. And our timer control field is based on this first response by field. Okay, so let's take a look at how we do this. So I'm just going to go ahead and jump over to my solution area of CRM, and I'm in cases at the moment. And actually, creating a timer control field is exactly the same as creating any other field within the CRM system. So all I'm going to go ahead and do right now is I'm going to go ahead and open up the case entity form. Now, I've already created my SLA timer. So if I scroll down here, here's my SLA timer field, which is a timer control field. But just to point out, if I wanted to create a new one, you simply click on the Insert tab, and within the Insert tab, there's an icon here for timer, and you go ahead and click on that. And once you do, it would open up this screen, which we're going to take a look at now. So this is where you would add the schema name for the field that you want to create and the label name. This example, I called it SLA timer. Now, the first thing the system's going to ask for is a failure time field. So in other words, what is your timer control field going to count down from? What date field? And if you click on the drop down, it gives you a list of every single date field that belongs to in this case, the case entity. Now, this would include custom fields. So if you had any custom date fields, they would appear in this drop down as well. My success criteria for this scenario is if the first response sent equals to yes, then it will class as a success for this particular timer control. My warning condition I have here is if the resolved by SLA status equals to nearing non-compliance, then the timer control would flag and give some sort of warning to say, okay, you're nearing failure. And the cancel condition will be if the case has been resolved. Then status equals resolved, then it will cancel the timer control. So I'm going to go ahead and click OK. That was a field, that timer control field that we created, and it's in my case entity. So I'm just going to go ahead and jump back to cases. Obviously, in your scenario, you would go ahead and publish those changes. But what I'm going to go ahead and do now is I'm just going to go ahead and quickly create a new case. And as always, I'm just going to have to go ahead first of all and fill in the mandatory fields for us to then go ahead and see how our timer control field actually works. So I'm just going to go ahead and first of all select a customer. And once I've selected my customer, I'll then go ahead and give this case a title. Okay, let's pick Ford here. And I'll just call this test timer control 2 as my case title, and I'm just going to go ahead and hit save. And once that record's actually been saved, then we'll just scroll down to the SLA section where we can see our timer control field. So I'm just going to scroll down there now. You'll notice the SLA timer by default says not set, and the reason why it's not set, if you remember, our failure condition was based on the first respond by field, and because it's not populated yet, in other words, the timer can't start. So let's go ahead and populate the first response by. Now, I said that I created a workflow that would set the first response by depending on the priority. So first of all, I'm going to go ahead and set it to low. And if I hit save, you're going to see that the timer, my SLA timer, would suddenly get triggered. And there it is. And it's counting down from 5 minutes. Gonna go ahead and change it to normal and go ahead and hit save again. It's a real-time workflow we're working with here, so as soon as it saves, it instantaneously changes, and there you go. It's now gone to 2 minutes and 58. And finally, I'm going to go ahead and change it to high, hit save one more time, and it will change. There you go. It will change the SLA timer to 1 minute countdown. So I'm doing this based purely on a workflow that changes the first response by, but you can actually use the timer control in conjunction with workflows and SLAs, because SLAs you can set the SLAs to throw out emails, warnings when the SLA is about to fail. You can also create tasks and so on and so forth. So a combination of workflows and SLAs with timer control means that you can actually create a complete package of how long this case should take, and give visualizations to the people that's working on the particular case and know how long they've got left. You'll notice that once the SLA, there you go, once the SLA has essentially failed, it will turn red, and then it will start actually counting up. So then it will tell you how far after, how long after the SLA has failed it's actually taken to do anything on this particular case. If I was to go ahead and change the first response to yes, which I've done now, you'll notice the SLA timer changed to succeeded. Why? Because that was one of the conditions that we had within this actual timer control field, that if the first response by is set to yes, then it will class as succeed. If we had changed the status of the case to cancelled, resolved, then it would have cancelled the timer as well. Okay, so just showed you quickly there how to create a timer control field within your CRM system. Showed you how to add the condition criterias, and then just gave you a quick demo of how that works in real life. Thank you.